We saw yesterday was an act of pure evil, an act of anti-Semitism, an act of terrorism on our shores in an iconic Australian location, Bondi Beach, and it is forever tarnished by what has occurred last evening.
We are satisfied that there were 2 offenders involved in yesterday's incident. The offenders are a 50-year-old and 24-year-old male who are father and son.
As the sun began to set on Sunday evening, December 14, a father and son team, Sajid and Naveed Akram, allegedly opened fire at 1,000 people who had gathered on the beach in Sydney for a Hanukkah event.
It's kind of like, I don't know, fish in a barrel. Like, the guy had I think of what I've been told, he had an automatic rifle, big gun, standing on the bridge and just target practice.
No, I heard these shots go off and I knew it was gunshots immediately, but I didn't really register it.
They're suspected of killing at least 15 people and injuring 40 in what authorities have declared an act of anti-Semitic terrorism. The father held a gun license for about 10 years and he possessed 6 registered firearms, 4 of which were found at the scene, and he was shot dead by police. His son was also shot but survived, and he is in hospital in a critical condition. For decades, the laws created after the 1996 Port Arthur massacre were considered the gold standard of public safety. In that attack, a lone gunman, Martin Bryant, killed 35 people at a tourist attraction in Tasmania.
As Australia prepares to mourn the victims, there have been urgent calls for tough new gun laws to try and ensure it never happens again.
A new national firearms agreement was introduced. It banned semi-automatic rifles and shotguns, and nearly 650,000 weapons were collected in a mass amnesty and buyback program. It also meant more stringent controls, including anyone who wanted to hold a firearms license, they had to pass a fit and proper person test administered by police agencies. But despite these reforms, gun ownership has crept up in Australia, and there's now more than 4 million guns owned by civilians across the country, and that's 25% higher than in 1996. The reality that the Bondi suspects used firearms legally owned and registered to Sajid Akram has sparked a debate around the country's laws in the 21st century.
What is really distressing is how did this perpetrator have 6 guns?
We're much better than America, but at the same time, we don't need guns here. We don't need guns.
I think the laws need to be made stricter because there's no reason for anyone to need to access guns in this country.
So what do Australian lawmakers propose? In the wake of the terror attack, Australia's National Cabinet has pledged to eradicate anti-Semitism, hate, violence and terrorism.
The government is prepared to take whatever action is necessary. Included in that is the need for tougher gun laws.
It is said that the laws from 1996 will be renegotiated with Australian states and territories, and changes are expected to place strict limits on the number of weapons that gun holders can hold. The Cabinet is also considering changes that would mean gun licences in future would only be issued to Australian citizens. The government has pledged to do all it can to prevent a similar atrocity in future.